President-elect is reportedly set to unveil his new Time Person of the Year cover as he rings the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange a few hours from now. So this comes as the final Fox News polls of the year show just how much the economy matters to Americans. 60% of respondents saying it's extremely important for Trump to focus on lowering prices once he gets into office. Meanwhile, FBI Director Christopher Wray announcing his plans to step down from the post ahead of the incoming Trump administration.
After weeks of careful thought, I've decided the right thing for the Bureau is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down.
Trump reacting to this on his Truth Social, saying, quote, the resignation of Christopher Wray is a great day for America as it will end the weaponization of what has become known as the United States Department of Injustice. Trump's pick to replace Wray as FBI Director, Kash Patel, was on Capitol Hill meeting with senators yesterday, and he says his team is going to be ready to hit the ground running. Listen.
Wray, resignation. We look forward to a very smooth transition at the FBI, and I'll be ready to go on day one.
Have you talked to President-elect Trump?
Several other nominees for Trump's cabinet also spending yesterday on Capitol Hill, meeting with lawmakers, including Kristi Noem, Tulsi Gabbard, John Ratcliffe, and Pete Hegseth. And Hegseth is expected to meet with Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman later today.
Years from now, she might not remember what she got for Christmas. But she'll always remember President Trump ringing the bell.
Beautiful. We should do, maybe like, Jerry, we're going to do Christmas ads? We need, like, listen, we don't have, what is it, 14 days from Christmas, 39 days until Trump is into charge. So what are we going to do? We're going to do Christmas ads? We should do Christmas ads, Jerry. We should do iconic chat. You want iconic Christmas movie memes till the end of the year? Jerry, chat, let me know. Chat, let me know. Do you want meme maker Jerry, the legend of this program, to go into his cave and to come out with Christmas magic and to create Christmas magic memes for the entire rest of the year? I see nothing but yeses. I see nothing but yeses. Jerry, the people have spoken. Jerry, jump in the chat and tell them you hear them, Jerry. I want Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I want Frosty the Snowman. I want Tim Allen as Santa Claus. I don't know. Maybe some random ones, right? What was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Turbo Man. Now, did you do some of that? Sinbad? Come on, give me Christmas classics. I want Rankin and Bass. Home Alone, give me the Home Alone one, okay? Donald Trump as Kevin McAllister, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as, the two burglars. Get me that, Jerry. With the BB gun? Get me that, Jerry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are excited this morning. Today is Thursday, December 12th, 2024. We are 14 days till Christmas morning. And we are 39 days before President Trump is in office again, sworn in. The great American golden era starts now. Trump named Time's Person of the Year, rings the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. Christopher Wray resigns, making way for Kash Patel. Trump puts Kari Lake in charge of all American media. Oh, that's a meltdown extreme. Oh, it's going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. We are joined on this program by the great Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who has some breaking news for us, Senator Rick Scott, and New Jersey Mayor Christine Serrano to talk about all those strange lights above the heads of her constituents. We told you we'd book somebody from New Jersey, and our great booker, Carol, was able to go and get us someone. It's going to be an exciting show. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. A hot show, ladies and gentlemen, heading into the hot Christmas season. I got to tell you, it's going to be spicy around here. Spicy as some spiked eggnog. Now is the time for you to ditch all of the other America-hating deodorants and step up Masculine Man deodorant, perfect for the holiday seasons. The best-smelling, longest-lasting deodorant on the market, probably made here in the USA by hardworking, patriotic men. It isn't just deodorant; it is a lifestyle upgrade. The best-smelling deodorant, period. Fragrances that rival your favorite high-end colognes. Long-lasting protection that never quits. No white marks or yellow stains guaranteed. Made in the USA with 100% aluminum-free ingredients and 30-day money-back guarantee. Try it for free. And for this Christmas, don't miss out. Special offer, buy 2 packs and get one for just $1. Go to masculinemanessentials.com or you can find them on Amazon. Use code Benny15. Check out at 15% off your order. Smell incredible, feel unstoppable. Support American-made brand. Masculine Man, be awesome, don't stink. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that doesn't stink. Let me tell you something that, that's maxim at this show. The beautiful thing about working on the internet is that it's kind of like the old Library of Alexandria, right? It's like the ancient libraries in a Tibet monastery up high in the mountaintops that haven't been touched for 3,000 years. You can find so much knowledge. You can look back and really see a true history of who was right and who was wrong. And I think that's really important. You can go back and look at you never see embarrassing clips of this show. You can go back in this show's history and find that through it all, we stuck beside right, truth, justice, the American way. We stuck beside President Trump against the horrific and evil tyrannical attacks, and that we never wavered, even in the darkest days. Now, what does this really mean? We're certainly no victims here. We freaking love this country, but it means that, I really did have conversations with my wife over the past year about what happens if, God forbid, they are able to rig it again and to install Kamala Harris, and how evil these people, how they will come after us. I mean, it's my ass who, would be going to jail, right? They'll just make something up. This is what they've done to Trump. They'll just make something up. And they will do anything, right, to stay in power. This is the nature of people who are illegitimate. The nature of someone who's illegitimate or guilty of a crime is that they'll do anything to stop from being caught. They're the ones you have to worry about. And so, yeah, literally, we based on the way things were going, spying on Tucker Carlson, reading Tucker Carlson's emails, the amount that they were going after Tucker, you can look down the line and just see they threw Steve Bannon in frickin' prison. So, yeah, we literally had something to lose here. And we all had something to lose in our freaking country. Every one of us has kids or a property or an investment here. We're all shareholders in this nation. And we had a hostile takeover of this great experiment that we're all part of. And so it was one of the greatest days of my life to watch Donald Trump win on election night. Spray the entire studio with champagne. Maybe some of you were watching at 2 a.m. But we are we're still cleaning up the equipment here. They sprayed too much champagne on us. But it means something to us. It means something to us, and I know it means something. I know it means something to you. And you have to look back and see who is telling you the truth. You have to judge. Judge where you're getting your information from, please, today. I'm not going to call out anyone on this program, even though it's a very small world, and you can see who was actively cheering for Donald Trump to go to prison, who was telling you that Trump could never win, who was saying that Donald Trump deserved it, right? You could see it. You can see it because it's all on the internet. It's all in the old Alexandria library. You can go find those people, and you should not listen to those people. You should tune in and subscribe to shows that were honest with you over the past couple of years. One of the most honest clips in American history is one I'm about to show you. It's nearly 10 years old. I don't think there's anybody who predicted the future even better than this clip. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much.
You might even get sick of winning. This is a meme that winds up in my timeline all the time. It's Tucker Carlson reporting on Tucker Carlson. We are so back. We have never been so back. Levels of back never dreamed possible. This is how I feel this morning. This is how I feel this morning as I log into Time Magazine and see this glorious photo. Ladies and gentlemen, your president hugging and kissing the American flag, a brand new iconic image drop. When are they going to just freaking make this a monument? When are they going to put it up? We've been through so much together. Let me scroll it back to the top here. This is a Time Magazine article. It says that it would take us 90 straight minutes to read it on air, so we can't, ladies and gentlemen. We will give you a summary of it, but it is a legendary article that goes through the moments like this, man. ALX and I were in the room. That's like ALX and I right there. I don't know if that's exactly us, but we were like standing right there. Front seat to history. Live within minutes of the Trump assassination, live within minutes of Joe Biden dropping out, and live to witness this. This is just the one part of the article I'm going to rip through here. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump changing the landscape of American politics forever. There's a lot of data, a lot of numbers. I hate throwing a ton of numbers at people. Here's what you need to pay attention to. This gray column over here. Donald Trump's changing coalition. How Donald Trump changed American politics forever. These are the 3 elections that Donald Trump has been running for president. And here are the Trump's gains and loss. Latino men, Donald Trump swung them 41 points in his favor. Voters of color, no degree. This is working class. Swung them 26 points in his favor. 25 points for Latino women, swinging in favor of Donald Trump. Voters of college degree, 17 points. Black men, plus 13 points. Trump swinging black women his direction by 5 points. Yo, that's awesome, okay? Trump swinging young people in his direction by 8 and 6 points. 18 and 34 years old in this kind of time frame. Rural, white, no degree, all of them swinging to Trump. The only people that swung away from Trump by double digits were white women, college degree, I would tend to think unmarried, and J.D. Vance warned us about these people. He called them the childless cat ladies. Unhappy childless cat ladies. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, let's just say we're so back, and we've never been more back. This is Donald Trump's Time magazine cover. Eric Trump popping off, well-deserved. Nigel Farage with the American flag. Trump's new incoming press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, saying, look at that sweet kiss of the American flag. Jason Miller is a Trump strategist. Everyone saying, it's time, baby. Return, baby. Donald Trump ringing in the New York Stock Exchange bell as well. This morning, finding out that he is only the second president to have done so. Ronald Reagan, the last golden American era, ushered in by the ring of the stock bell. It's a hard cover. It really is, producer Danny. It's one of the hardest covers there is out there. The memes are already flying. Here's Donald Trump meeting Joe Biden with the Trump Person of the Year magazine. Joe loves it. What a difference 3 months makes. Yeah. In trouble. You know, we have some breaking news on the second Trump assassination. We're going to get to it later in the show. Insanity, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a quick summary of the article. Thank you, Croc. Key points from the article, Donald Trump. I encourage you to go read the entire thing. Historic comeback. Donald Trump has been named Times Person of the Year in 2024, highlighting his remarkable political comeback after losing 2020 to Joe Biden. Victory in 2024 is described as reshaping the American electorate, particularly activating young male voters. What up? In this pivotal win. Election impact. Trump won both the popular vote and all swing states, making him the first Republican in 2 decades to win the popular vote. His election victory was also significant because he became the first convicted felon to win the presidency. Hell yeah! Although, sorry, you're not a convicted felon unless a judge sentences you, and Trump hasn't been sentenced. So you can't call him a convicted felon. Gotcha. Gotcha, Grok. Okay? Trump's campaign focused on the economy and the border, and he's promised to implement tariffs in key trading partners like Mexico, Canada, and China. Cultural influence. This one is very important to me. Trump's influence extends beyond policy, significantly impacting American politics and culture. As Andrew Breitbart famously said, politics is downstream of culture. If you affect culture, you'll affect politics. Donald Trump deeply understands this. His selection as Person of the Year underscores his role in shaping global affairs according to Times criteria. You want to talk about affecting culture? Man, this is what it looks like. My whole life is a bet. Donald Trump leaning on the resolute desk, famously, right here. This is what affecting culture looks like. This is just the past couple months. Look what Trump's done. Look at this. We just lived through the histories that our children will read about. Look at the bullet in the air. You can see it. It's not a UFO from New Jersey. Okay? I fact-checked this with my producers. Not a UFO in New Jersey. We're going to cover that this show. That's a bullet whizzing past Trump's head. Look at what we've lived through. This moment in time. I continue to ask Trump supporters and surrogates, people that are professionally employed by Trump, entering the White House, if Trump's going to do this out of the White House window at Joe Biden. Please, please, Mr. President, give us this one last meme. Please, I beg of you. Look what we lived through. Look at that. The servant leader. You've never seen it. You've never seen it. The servant leader. And of course, another Time magazine cover featured this, the single most iconic image in American politics, and an image that I will fight with through my dying day. I think I have many more decades of doing this, and we're very excited to do that. And we want to grow this platform. This is the fastest growing news stream in the world, actually, on the internet. And so we're thankful for you deeply. We will take that power that you and I have created together, and we will make this statue happen. Talk about clipping something and then holding me to it for the next decades. I will do anything. I will donate my bottom dollar to make this a statue on the National Mall. I'll start taking a collection right now. When I make this, must be a statue on the National Mall in America. It has to be right there next to Lincoln, MLK, war memorials, the Washington Monument. This has got to be one. Do you feel me? Let me know, chat. ALX, can you pin that question to the chat? Do you want this to be the national monument in America? Right? Which epic Trump moment deserves a national monument? Maybe they all do. I mean, this could be in the National Mall, and then this could be a monument at a McDonald's. That'd be fun. Maybe just take this permanent window and have a Donald Trump monument. We could have a Donald Trump garbage truck monument. And we could have, I know plenty of rappers that already have this tattooed on their body permanently. Now, many said that it couldn't happen, and it did. This has been iconic moments and memeable moments. The internet, upon hearing that Donald Trump was going to become Time's Person of the Year, made memes of this. It is my responsibility to you to tell you that this is not the official Time magazine cover, but I kind of wish it was. Donald Trump. Come on, baby. Come on. This was, though, an official Time magazine cover. I can't believe this is real. This is actually real. They did this, I think this is 4 or 5 years old. I like this is my favorite. This is my favorite one. Trump. Where is Lib? Where is Screaming Lib? Klein, can you get me a photo of Screaming Lib? You know, Screaming Lib, right? Where is this individual? I must find her. I must know. We got to do a redo. Trump's going to be inaugurated in less than 40 days. We got to do a redo. Pop it up. Does anybody know who this person is? Does anybody know where this person lives? I'll pay. I'll from this audience. We will go together. I gotta do like an epic, if this person did $5 to take a photo of me screaming at Trump's inauguration, they'd make a fortune. We gotta redo it. We gotta start. We gotta do it. We must return. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, these look like the individuals harassing and attacking Nancy Mace. Congresswoman Nancy Mace will be joining us in just a moment. But I must have it. I must have my Trump statue, and I must have the Lib screaming once again. Maybe you could incorporate this Lib into the Trump statue. You ever thought about that? You could actually make this Lib in bronze, cast it in bronze, kneeling at the base of the Trump statue screaming. And then you could hit a button, right? You could hit a button and it'll scream. And then water, instead of water in a fountain, water would roll down its face. Okay? Just small little droplets of tears would roll down the face. Would you hit that button? Chat, would you hit the button if that was the actual monument? You go up and you hit the button and it goes, no! And you could hear it, and then the little drips of water roll down their face. Greatest monument ever. Anyway, we're just coming up with ideas. We're just spitballing here. And Donald Trump was not spitballing at the ringing in the bell. The nation's stock exchange. Here is Donald Trump ringing us into the new great American century. Starts now.
He is no longer just a TV star. He's the incoming leader of the free world. He's going to ring the bell here in about 20 seconds. An historic moment at the New York Stock Exchange as we get this opening bell rung by the president-elect, Donald Trump.
Dude, when was the last time you saw the New York Stock Exchange breaking into a USA chant? Come on. Don't we love that? Freaking love it. We've never been so back. Levels of back unimaginable. I'll just put up just one more time, Killer Klein. Just one more time, putting up the meme. We are so back. We've never been so back. Levels of back never dreamed possible, as Tucker Carlson howls. Tucker Carlson maybe should have been put as voice of America. Maybe Tucker Carlson will be head of global media for America. Oh man, we gotta get to it. We gotta get to it. Let me know, ALX, when we're ready to talk through Kari Lake. Oh man, Kari frickin' Lake, appointed director of effectively all global media for America. Oh, it's so awesome. Libs losing their minds. Will Tucker Carlson get a show at Voice of America? That's what I'd like to know. All right, ladies and gentlemen. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Here's Donald Trump walking the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. There you go. Here's Donald Trump. Do we have any audio here? Just hear some.
Trump! Thank you.
Listen in.
We appreciate it so much. We need you. We need you to save us. Thank you. Thank you.
Trump getting some love.
They did. He was terrible. We love you.
Yeah, Trump getting love. Trump receiving. Trump signing a book this morning. This is him finding out that he was only the. Yep.
President to ring the bell since Ronald Reagan.
First president to ring the bell since Ronald Reagan.
March 28, 1985, where he addressed the floor. Yes, it's a great honor to have you.
Hell yeah, Donald Trump addressing the New York Stock Exchange. This is a 9-minute. He gave a 9-minute speech. Here's just a short clip of it. Killer Klein, let's go, baby.
Well, thank you very much. This is an honor, a tremendous honor. I brought some of our compatriots along with us. They're going to do a beautiful job for you for the next 4 years. And it's really been something very special. And I have to say, Time Magazine getting this honor for the second time. I think I like it better this time, actually. But we did a good job. We had a great first term, despite a lot of turmoil caused unnecessarily. But the media's tamed down a little bit. They're liking us much better now, I think. If they don't, we'll have to just take them on again, and we don't want to do that. But I do want to thank Time Magazine. I've been on the cover many times. I don't know who has the record, but I can only probably talk well about 25% of the covers. 25% are great. The others I just sort of hide. But it's been an honor, and every time it's an honor, I will tell you. And thank you very much for doing it. And thank the whole group at Time. Really very professional people. Thank you very much. And
I don't know, man. Time Magazine has new leadership. Will there be a turning of the corner at Time Magazine? Obviously, America is always and perpetually in an information war. I did want to hop down really quickly to the news of our dear friend, Kari Lake. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we got Nancy Mace set and ready to join the show live. But very quickly, since this was breaking news late last night, and I definitely want to get to it, Trump taps Kari Lake to be head of Voice of America. Now, should Voice of America even exist? What this is a government-funded media propaganda arm to project the American empire worldwide. Voice of America is a very real place, has a giant building in Washington, D.C. Kari Lake, of course, thoroughly qualified, as she has 22 years of broadcast experience in corporate media. I love this pick President Trump, here's the announcement, saying that Kari Lake will now head the literal voice of America internationally. So awesome. This has been something that cucky Republicans, rhinos, and limp wrists have effectively, when they've been nominated into when they win office as president, they like put a lib in charge of this, right? Some weakling. And then the entire organization, as ever, gets rotted out from the inside by woke who hate America. Voice of America has been, and shockingly, has been turned into like an America-hating, woke, please come and invade our border. They literally use this to foment invasions into this country. It all stops right now. Can we, ALX, can you just grab that tweet just really quickly? Can you just grab that tweet about my dream lineup for Voice of America? And we'll see if Nancy Mace agrees. Kari Lake saying that she's very, very proud of this nomination. Oh, I'm telling you that what Kari Lake could do is she could give us a show on Voice of America. We'd be happy to take that government check right before she shuts the entire thing down, because I am personally against the government funding media. I don't want that. Libs are losing their minds over this. Here's what I put up last night. To prove how bad it is to have government-funded media, it's okay when we do it. It's okay when we do it. All the libs over on Blue Sky are losing their minds over this because they're worried about state-funded media, which is genius. Because now we can prove to them exactly how painful state-funded media is. This is the way that you learn. This is how you learn. You take the dog and you shove its head in it, right? You spank the child. This is what pain looks like, ladies and gentlemen. New Voice of America nightly lineup. American Empire, hosted by Steve Bannon. F Off, hosted by Dan Bongino. Literally, F You, hosted by Tucker Carlson. Broadcast only in Ukraine. Deconstructing 70 Years of CIA Propaganda with Mike Benz. And Good Night America, a variety show hosted by General Mike Flynn. He can sing, he can dance. Ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the greatest. Your general for comedy, Mike Flynn. Wouldn't you love that? With just get the old Johnny Carson set. Have him smoke the whole time. Do that. That'd be amazing. Come on, Kari. We actually texted her this, and she loved it. You can see some of the people actually responding. Can you scroll down in the comments? Mike Ben said he would totally do a show. Mark Mitchell, our favorite pollster, said he would do a show. And General Flynn said he would do the late night variety show. You want to take Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel off the air forever? Dude, have General Flynn, taxpayer-funded variety late night show. We live in the greatest timeline. We live in the single greatest timeline, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very exciting. Here's your new head of Voice of America, Kari Lake, showing you exactly the kind of energy she's going to bring to this role.
Hi.
Kari.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Come off and CNN.
You don't have a mask on anymore. What's going
we're
on?
outside. Do you have a minute to
well,
chat?
we're 6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus. Does that still exist?
Yeah.
I didn't think so, because the people don't like what you guys are peddling,
So,
which is propaganda. Thank you.
That's involuntary servitude.
Now Kari Lake is in charge of all American propaganda. Oh, it's incredible. What a time to be alive. Somebody who is also deeply fearless and who stands directly in the face of the people who hate her and has taken apparently been attacked because of it, is the great Congresswoman Nancy Mace. And we were horrified and brought you news earlier in the week that Nancy Mace was assaulted in the halls of the Capitol by an activist who's attacking her for saying that women should only be using women's bathrooms in the U.S. Capitol. Something that all cultures and every American up until 2 years ago would have said yes to, obviously. Nancy Mace joining the show live now to give us an update on this. Congresswoman, how are you? I see that you have your arm in a sling. I've seen the photos.
Yeah.
We pray for you and hope that you are okay. Can you please explain what happened?
Yeah, no, I'm on the mend and I will be fine. But it's jarring. I mean, this guy, literally like 3 times my size. I saw his mugshot and it said he was only 225, and I'm like, no way, he's only two. I'm 112 pounds and almost 5'6". There's no way he was only twice my size. And this guy came in for what I thought was going to be a friendly handshake, and I know the difference between a passionate handshake and a violent one. And here I sit here today with an injury from it. And so he can F right off on this, and they all can. I mean, these leftists, they're lunatics, and they victim shame. They're saying, oh, it never happened. And this was just a gentle, run of the mill, gentle, normal handshake, with the quotations around it. And these people are sick. And they hate women, and they hate strong women, intelligent women, and women that aren't putting up with their bullshit. And I'm right here for it. And, there's nothing they can do or say that will stop me.
So an activist assaulted you in the halls of Congress. They also said Jamal Bowman didn't pull the fire alarm until we released videos of that.
Exactly.
So an activist assaulted you in the halls of Congress for defending women and women's rights.
Absolutely. And they're saying all these witnesses now saw this. And I'm like, no, there were only 2 people standing next to me, and one of them works for me. And both of them confirmed my version of what happened. And so, they'll do anything. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal, they will do anything to control the narrative. And in fact, someone who is affiliated with the guy that assaulted me called into my office, actually 2 of my offices, my DC office and an office in South Carolina, yesterday morning, hours after I was physically accosted, making the threat that all these people online were going to organize against me. And that's what they did yesterday. And I have a warning for any media outlet that says I wrongly, falsely accused this guy of physically accosting me, of assaulting me. That is defamation. And so I would be walking on eggshells if I were you.
So I want to ask, do you have extra security? Do you feel like the Capitol Police were there to help? The reason I don't want to be a doomer here, but the more they lose, the more psychotic and desperate they're going to become. Yeah. And I fear for good members of Congress.
Yeah, my family's worried that it'll happen again and it'll be worse. So members of Congress, unless you're in top leadership, you don't get a detail. You don't have Capitol Police or your state law enforcement presence. Now, I do have security at public events. We've increased our security, but now I don't feel safe going anywhere alone. I just, I'm living looking over my shoulder. What happened was jarring. Like, I tried to remove my hand from this guy's grip, and he doubled down on it and tightened his grip and wouldn't let go. And so, I don't feel safe. And, I just, I've increased my security for the present time. And so now I don't feel like I can go anywhere, literally anywhere alone these days.
I fear that this is the result of weakness. And as somebody who has a very long knowledge of history and can remember back to the year 2017, I'm not sure if you were in Congress at the time. I
was not.
Okay, so 2017, but this is something that should have really caused a sea change and should have caused the men in Congress to stand up and protect our movement, which was a deranged leftist gunman opened fire on Republicans practicing baseball.
Yep.
And this guy, I went through his social media. He is a psychopath who's totally radicalized by MSNBC, by CNN. Yep. His entire page was filled with visceral Trump Republican hatred. And he walked up and he said, his name's James T. Hodgkinson is his name. And nobody knows what that name is. This guy committed the greatest act of terrorism against Congress in modern history.
Yeah.
And nobody knows who he is. And in fact, Paul Ryan at the time stood there and sang Kumbaya with Nancy Pelosi when there should have been a reckoning about left-wing violence at that time. And this is then what we allow because of weakness. It's weakness on our end, side.
And it'll happen more and more. In fact, Steve Scalise was one of the first people to reach out to me and ask me if I was doing okay Tuesday night. And I said, Steve, I'm going to be fine. I mean, I have not endured what others have endured like you, and being shot by these lunatics. I mean, we need to call it like we see it. Yep. And the only way that you can get back at someone who's bullying you is to figuratively punch them in the face, not take any heat, don't take any of their bullshit, and call them out for what they are. And that's why I'm being attacked. That's why I'm getting threats. That's why my employees are being threatened. And that's why I have to take greater safety precautions, because these people, as a minority, 0.5%, They are organized, but they're dangerous. They're very dangerous.
They're very dangerous. Now, there's, we're going to use every bit of, and every moment and every bit of energy and inertia on this program to make the Donald Trump statue, right, for the assassination survival. We think that's needed in Washington D.C. and we want to mint that. But there's so much we don't know. It's crazy how often we are lied to about left-wing violence.
Yep.
And it's time for the country to have a reckoning. There were 4 assassination attempts on Donald Trump this election cycle.
Yep.
If that had happened to Barack Obama or Joe Biden, they would have already built the statue, right? Joe Biden would have been permanently in office. Yep. And so, as somebody who's been a truth seeker, and you did such a great job with Kim Cheadle at Secret Service when you questioned her, as somebody who's asked a lot of tough questions about UAPs and UFOs, there seems to be like this massive cover-up that's going on, or at least that something doesn't make sense about what's happening in the skies above New Jersey. I don't know if you've been watching this or covering it, but before we go, I have to get to it. Do you know anything about this? Is the government being forthcoming about what's going on?
We have not yet been briefed on what's going on over New Jersey. I mean, so the fact that members of Congress, members of the House Armed Services Committee and Oversight Committee, we have some issues here. And in fact, I've been in the middle of drafting a bill for weeks now. Why can't we shut down our skies when this is happening? Why can't we capture one of these drones? Why don't we know who this is? Is it Iran? The rumor we're hearing is it's Iran. My first assumption was China. Why can't we shoot it down and figure out what information they're collecting on U.S. military and nuclear assets? We should be able to do that. We're the greatest fighting force in the world, and we look weak as anything on the world stage when we just let this go on without consequence. And I do want to say something about the statues before we wrap up today too, Please. Benny. I saw that Time magazine cover today, and I need that cover framed. I need it signed. Like, I need air in my lungs. This is the strongest president in American history. He'll get to the bottom of all of this, and we can't thank him fast enough, and he can't get sworn in fast enough. I'm waiting on pins and needles for this guy to show true leadership to America and the world, because we're all going to be safer for it.
So I know that a final question here. My team's telling us we're up against a hard out, but I just got to ask, because you have been one of those people on the dais asking questions about UFOs and UAPs, and you've been in the hearings, and you've been in the classified hearings.
Yep.
What do you think is going on in the skies above American states and sovereign American airspace?
I do believe that the government and certain agencies aren't forthcoming with information. They've overclassified information, even the explainable UAPs. But what I did learn in this GIF, and I'm being very careful with my words here, they explained a lot of the objects we've seen in some leaked videos and content and photos, etc. But there are 2 very consistent shapes that are consistently unexplained. And I won't describe those shapes until we've got permission to talk about it. But there are 2 very specific shapes that are consistently unexplained in our skies. And I find that interesting. I find it fascinating. And I would like to have more information, and I would like more disclosure for things that are explained and how the government got to the bottom of that through their technology or infrared, radar and technology, sonar technology, et cetera. Explain how they figured it out and show some examples, but also come forward and show what's unexplained, so that we can be more, in terms of members of Congress and just people that are seeing these things in the skies, know what to look for, and then how to report it. How can everyday Americans report something that looks strange or a national security threat in our skies or in our waters, et cetera?
Yes. I mean, of course, we're reminded that the government didn't tell us anything about the Chinese weather balloon.
Right.
And it had to be somebody with their telescopic lens had to show the country that it was a Chinese, there was a weather balloon. Yeah, right. There's not a weather balloon. But like,
exactly. And the government, the Biden and Harris administration, let that balloon traverse the entire United States from west coast to east until it was shot down off the coast of my great state of South Carolina. The entire country.
Sure, correct. And so these things are flying over Trump's, again, I don't want to go long here, but they're flying over Trump's house. He lives half the year in Bedminster. So these things are flying over Trump's house and military bases, and there doesn't seem to be any urgency to explain what's going on. Like, are we a real country? Right? Like,
and also from a national security perspective, how are we updating our technology or our AI or machine learning or algorithms, et cetera, to make sure we identify these objects with greater frequency, sooner, faster, better, more?
Yes. Okay, well, I'm glad to see that at least somebody's taking it seriously. You know, the Chinese or Iranian mothership that they're all launching from out in the ocean. Like, what's going on? What's going on, Congresswoman? Please come back on the show and tell us when you learn something.
Anytime. Anything for you, Benny.
All right. Well, Godspeed, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you do see something up in the sky, please take your cell phone and film it. We know I'm already getting footage, and we'll play some of it on the show for you, of people filming in the sky with their phone. Most people, all they have is a phone. Some people have the telephoto lens, but not many. And a lot of these things are very hard to capture. We have some crazy footage for you later in the show about what's been popping off. Man, take your phone, film it, send it in to us. All right, send it into the program. A lot of people are very, very interested. Benny at BennyJohnson.com. Send it into the show. We'll feature your footage and attach a photo of your Christmas ornament while you're at it, please. If you are using your cell phone, we hope it's a Patriot Mobile one. Patriot Mobile, of course, is the tried and true, trusted phone of Christians and conservatives here in this country. This is the only cell phone company that reflects your values. Take a stand for conservative causes today and put America first by switching to Patriot Mobile. Do so before the holidays, ladies and gentlemen, to get access to all three major networks. Their 100% US-based customer service team will take care of you lickety-split. Go to patriotmobile.com/Benny. Call 972-PATRIOT right now. Get a free month when you use the offer code Benny. patriotmobile.com/Benny or call 972-PATRIOT to get a free month today, baby. Okay. And film your alien invasion with your Patriot Mobile phone. Okay. All right. Okay. This is a very, very wonderful series of I love shows where we're like, Alex and I talk every morning and we're like, what are we going to do the show on? Well, some days you're drinking from a fire hose. There's too much good news. Now, Senator Rick Scott is going to be on the program in just a moment to talk to us about Kash Patel. And the reason why this booking is perfect and the great senator from Florida is our perfect guest is because now there happens to be an empty apartment over there in the FBI Hoover building. That's right, left by Christopher Wray, probably a smoke-filled apartment, as they burn and shred every document imaginable. Wait, I can't wait for all the phones to be deleted, right? Remember what they did after January 6th with the Secret Service? We pushed a reset and every Secret Service agent had their phones wiped. Yeah. You can believe that that's what's happening right now across our federal government. Christopher Wray made it official, announced his resignation ahead of Trump's term. This is very wise by Christopher Wray. Libs are losing their minds over it. Wray resigned in absolute and total disgrace. I want to just, there's too many things to count for the problems with Christopher Wray, but I want to just note one quick thing, since this happens to be a bit of a theme of the show. Christopher Wray wanted Trump to die, and I'm going to say that with absolute certitude. I read the kill order. We have the documents. We can show it to you. Christopher Wray authorized lethal force in the raid of Mar-a-Lago. Now, the raid of Mar-a-Lago, of course, was illegal and had absolutely no predicate. Donald Trump has plenary power to classify or declassify any document. He is the executive. It was all built around, obviously, humiliating Trump, trying to put him in prison, but more importantly, trying to harm President Trump. President Trump lives at Mar-a-Lago, and they sent FBI agents, this monster, sent FBI agents in with a kill order. What's that going to do? That's going to create a blue-on-blue conflict where the Secret Service says, we're here to protect Trump, and the FBI says, no, you're not, and hopefully somebody goes trigger-happy. This was the guy's plan. Christopher Wray, of course, hasn't given us anything on Matthew Crooks, a man who physically shot Trump in the head. We know nothing about Ryan Ralph. This guy is complete and total garbage. He's the single worst FBI director in American history, and that's saying a lot because I've lived through James Comey and I know plenty about J. Edgar Hoover. This is the worst FBI director in American history. He's locked up grannies that were peacefully protesting or praying. He's raided Americans' homes as though they were members of ISIS. And then he's allowed members of ISIS to freely walk across our southern border. Crime has skyrocketed. The horrors that this man has brought upon that agency. We cannot get Kash Patel soon enough. Here's Christopher Wray getting his ass kicked by President Trump yesterday.
After weeks of careful thought, I've decided the right thing for the Bureau is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down. My goal is to keep the focus on our mission, on the indispensable work each of you is doing every single day. And in my view, this is the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray while reinforcing the values and principles that are so important in how we do our work.
Really, the values and principles like lying to Congress, keeping the Hunter Biden laptop secret, protecting Joe Biden, attacking whistleblowers, those kind of secret, important things, skipping out on Senate hearings, Senator Rick Scott in just a second, skipping out on Senate hearings so you can get on your Gulfstream 5 that the taxpayers fund so you can go vacation in the Adirondacks. Really? Those kind of important works? Donald Trump saying, yeah, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Resignation of Christopher Wray. Great day for America. And the weaponization of what was known as the Department of Injustice. I don't know what happened to this guy, says Donald Trump. Donald Trump then saying, we must have Kash Patel. They use their vast powers to threaten and destroy many innocent Americans, which will never recover from what's done for them. Kash Patel is the most qualified nominee in FBI history. He's committed to helping ensure that law, order, and justice be brought back to the country. Kash Patel responding to the Christopher Wray news right here.
What's your reaction to Ray's resignation? We look forward to a very smooth transition at the FBI, and I'll be ready to go on day one.
I'll be ready to go on day one. We look forward to a very smooth transition. Hey, Alex, there's a much better. Can you find the longer version of that clip? It's great. It's great. Kash is our boy. Come get your boy. Kash is our boy. This is, it's a great, can you give me the long version? It was like so awesome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, joining me, maybe we'll watch it together. The great senator from the state of Florida, a man who has been just a complete firewall in the Senate against rhinos, against backstabbers, against the people that wish to fork over this nation, to the godless pagans. Seriously, Rick Scott is freaking hero. Rick Scott should be your Senate leader. We proudly advocated for him, but bygones will be bygones, and we have a bright future ahead of us. Joining us now, the great senator from Florida, Rick Scott. We know you have to be senatorial, all right? But we'll say it. We freaking wanted Rick Scott for later in the Senate. We said it, and we are not ashamed of it. You're a great patriot, sir.
Well, yesterday was thank you, Biddy. And by the way, thank you for all your support. I want to thank everybody for their support. But we changed the Senate. The other two people running agreed that we need to change how we run the Senate. We're going to focus on the Trump agenda, and we're going to get his nominees done. So that's we got to get those things done. Yesterday was a very good day for America. Christopher Wray resigned. I mean, think about it. What bothered me the most about him is all these actions and never an explanation. Never an explanation. And then, as you know, he canceled the last hearing to come and try to explain some of these things. But why did he raid Mar-a-Lago? Right? Why did he go after Catholics? Why is it just tell us? Like, I'm a U.S. senator. I should at least get something, right? Right? Some information. But no, but the truth is we have great FBI agents all across this country. We need to have Kash Patel as the leader because then we'll have great leadership at the FBI.
Yes. Have you met with Kash Patel? I know you have, right? We have the photo, yeah. Right? Have you met with Kash? Yeah, please explain that meeting. And obviously, and there's plenty of private stuff that can't be described, but you seem to have a very high confidence level in Kash Patel getting this chair.
Well, I've known Kash for quite a while, and here's a guy that he is committed. Here's what the FBI has done. So I just finished my race for re-election. As I gave speeches, I say, how many of you trust that they're going to tell us all the information what happened in Butler? Maybe the Secret Service director or Mayorkas. Oh, yeah, he'll tell us. Or Christopher Wray. I bet thousands of people I asked this question to. How many people raised their hand in the last 12 months? Zero. No, everybody, every American has lost trust of Wray, of Mayorkas, of every federal institution, DOJ, because they've all been weaponized. They did everything they could to just absolutely destroy Donald Trump and destroy the fabric of this country.
So when you met with Kash, what will be some of the things that happen to fix that? Because and I know it makes me somewhat unpopular, but I actually want to trust the FBI. And let me make that, like, I want to trust federal law enforcement. I want federal law enforcement to go get bad guys and to keep me safe. That is the only reason that I'm okay with my taxpayer dollars going to them. I don't want FBI agents to be sitting there kneeling for George Floyd and BLM as they march through the street as terrorist organization. Like, that's what I want my FBI to do. I want to trust my federal government. It's just my federal government has not done anything deserving of my trust. So how do we reestablish that? Did you and Cash talk about that, Senator?
So the way it's going to happen is Cash is going to create transparency. There's not going to be surprises. He's going to tell you what they're doing. He's going to stop this weaponization of the FBI. And I'm very sure Pam Bondi is going to do the exact same thing at the Department of Justice. They're going to stop this weaponization. They're not going to go after people just because they're Catholic or just because they're conservative or just because they're anything except if they're a criminal. So they're going to do everything they can to tell you what's going on and go after the bad guys. I think both Cash Patel is going to do a great job, and I think Pam Bondi is going to do a great job. It's going to take a while for the American public to come back and trust our federal institutions, because what the Biden administration did, and Obama did it also with Eric Holder, is we lost trust in many of the leadership of law enforcement, not the people that are out there doing the job every day, because they're doing what they're directed to do. Not the people that had to go to Mar-a-Lago. It's the decision to possibly use lethal force against the president, former president, potentially president-elect of the United States. That you cannot defend that. What Ray did. There's no defense to it at all. I mean, first off, you have Secret Service there with guns. I mean, they're keeping. I mean, it made no sense.
Do you think that there could be consequences for Christopher Wray from a legal perspective? Do you think that he's going to need one of these, Costco card pardons from President Biden because of this? Because he's behaved in a clearly illegal way.
Everybody needs to be accountable. Everybody needs to be. No one's above the law. Donald Trump is not the type of person that wants to go after, just spend all of his time just going after people. What he wants to do is do the right thing for the American public. So he didn't go after people that clearly did the wrong thing, like Hillary Clinton before. I don't know what they'll do in this regard, but what we've got to do is we've got to bring trust back into our federal government. So I'm very optimistic about Trump's nominees. Pete Hegseth is going to be a great Department of Defense. Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Cash is going to be a great FBI, and there's others. The Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, is a great friend. She's going to be a great Chief of Staff. I'm really excited. Now, our job in the Senate is to do our job. The number one thing, what Trump went on, the border. We've got to get a border bill passed quickly with all the resources so Donald Trump can secure the border. We got to do it, and we got to get his nominees done. That's what our entire January ought to be. Every minute. Those two things, border nominees, get those things done.
Yes. Senator, we keep saying, like, advise and consent doesn't mean sabotage and destroy.
Well, some people think that's what it means.
Yeah.
But if you look at Trump's nominees, they're fighters, they're smart, right? They're going to work with the president. They believe in the president's agenda, not some agenda somebody else. They're going to do their job, and they're going to bring sanctity back to the federal government, and there's going to be trust in the federal government going forward.
Could you please explain to me what the reticence is with some of your colleagues, especially from dark red, ruby red states, that are saying, no, I'm smarter than President Trump. I'm going to give these nominees a really hard time and probably vote against them, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, let's remember, Washington is a swamp. Washington doesn't want, they're not out there, excited about President Trump being here. They're reluctantly saying they support President Trump. So that's why what we've got to do, and what I'll tell you what you're doing. You're making everybody in the Republican Senate and everybody in the House, you're making us all better, because you're reminding us what people voted for. They voted for Donald Trump, his nominees, and his agenda. And when you tell people, when you talk about it and they let their senators know, there's a greater chance the right thing's going to happen up here.
Fantastic. Now, I know that Susie Wiles ran your campaign. Is that correct? Like,
yep.
You and Trump shared the same campaign manager. Is that correct?
Yep. She ran my first race. when no one thought I could win. Every poll said I would lose. Every Republican was against me. And you know what? She was also told she'll never work in Republican politics again because she ran my first race because I was not the establishment candidate.
Wow.
So I guess it all worked out.
Now, I know that Susie is a very humble person. She doesn't like the limelight, nor does she seek it. But maybe you could give us some insights into the incoming chief of staff for the White House, arguably one of the top 3 most powerful positions in the entire federal government.
In the entire world.
Yeah.
So here's what you're going to find with Susie. She's really smart, and she's very reserved, and she's a great listener, and she knows who she works for. She knows her job is to get the Donald Trump agenda done. And that's what she's going to do every day. She's going to protect the president from his enemies, and she's going to get his agenda done. You want her on your team, and you want her to be the leader of your team. It's what I went through in the primary and in the general election in 2010. She was there every moment, making sure we won by taking care of all the people that are trying to prevent us from winning. And so she did a great job with Trump. Donald Trump is a great candidate, but she was a great campaign manager to win this year. All the establishment and many Republicans didn't want Donald Trump to win.
Yeah. We got a photo of Mitch McConnell in a wheelchair yesterday leaked to us. Many senators have spoken to us sort of off the record and said, man, he's suffering, and people, they're effectively lying to the country about his physical state. Now, you're welcome to expound on that. I know you got to be a gentleman. But we've all seen the on-camera seizures or, lapse of senility. And now we just heard that he fell down and hit his head again. And it seems like the merciful thing for Mitch McConnell to do would be to again, be a gentleman and resign, right? You're 82. You've had your time. What's the state there? What's the state of play there with McConnell in the Senate? It seems to be quite alarming.
So in the last 12 months, he's had a really hard time hearing. When he comes to the Senate, I see him at the Senate lunches. He's having a really hard time hearing. I've not actually seen him since he had the fall. I think it was after I left lunch on Tuesday. So I haven't seen him. He didn't come to lunch yesterday, so I didn't see him yesterday. So I have no idea how he's doing right now. I saw they had the bandage. I guess he must have hit his face. But I have not talked to him or seen how he's doing. Like everything, we all hope everybody gets better.
Yes.
But it sounded like he had a bad fall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, right. I'm Mitch McConnell's best ally in the world. Same with Joe Biden. There are times in life where you should take a step back, right? Chill with your family and grandkids. Appreciate the appreciate the golden years, as they call them. And we highly encourage Senator McConnell to do that, right? Moving quickly into what the Senate can accomplish, because I know we're up against a hard out. The Senate accomplishments after the nominees are all in the chairs. Do you have absolute certitude, first off, that the Senate will confirm all of Donald Trump's nominees? And then what do you, Senator, want to see as the first agenda item out of the Senate?
First off, I'll be surprised if all of his nominees are not confirmed. I actually will. I think a lot of people went after Pete Hegseth. I think he's going to get I don't know one Republican senator that's going to vote against him. Wow. And I think that's going to be true for all these nominees. They're great nominees. That's number one. We got to do that as quickly as we can. Yeah. So we'll be back in session full time starting January 6th, and we need to stay here until we get these nominees done. That's number one. Number two is we've got to get the funding for the border. What they need is they need more Border Patrol agents. They need more ICE deport agents to do the deporting. They're going to need more money for both the wall, for technology, for vessels. They're going to need more money to help local governments that are partners. Didn't sound like Chicago is going to be much of a partner, but there's going to be other local governments that are. So they're talking about spending about 85. The numbers have been thrown around $85 billion. So my goal is let's do that and let's focus on that and let's do that every day and get that done. It's the most important thing we can do, and we can do that through reconciliation, which we can do with 51 votes. So that's the most important thing we should do, and we should do everything we can to get that done before Inauguration Day, January 20th.
Wow, that would be amazing. So you could line it up for the president to sign it.
Absolutely. That's what should happen. So I don't know of any Republican senators that are not on board. We'll see how long it takes us. There's going to be a conversation about, should we add something else to the bill? I mean, look, there's a lot of other things to do, but you can't get it bogged down with trying to do other things. I think you have to really focus on getting the border done, because that was the most important issue in this election.
Yes. That you just made some news there. So you don't know a single senator that's planning on voting against Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, these Trump nominees. So
Not one person has said it to me. I don't think they're going to vote against these nominees. Something would have to dramatically change. As these nominees go around and talk to people, they see the quality of them, the fact that they're absolutely patriots, they're fighters, they know what their job is. They're going to be transparent. They're going to work with Republican senators. So I actually have not had one Republican senator that said to me that they're going to vote against any of these nominees.
Wow, it is incredibly encouraging. I want to just end here with a final question about Doge. You're a businessman, a very successful one. You're one of the few senators that was a successful businessman and actually understands how to balance a budget and run a large company and do well in the private sector. Trump understands that, and I know you both speak the same language there. I know that you've been meeting with Doge and that you have connections there. Can you explain how they're going to begin to carve up this behemoth of the federal government?
First off, it is a big issue. We've had a 2% increase in population in the last 5 years and a 53% increase in spending. We've just in the 4 Biden years, we've increased the regulatory costs in this country by over $2.6 trillion. We only have a $28 trillion economy. So there's a lot of things we have to do. So most of this is going to be done through the executive branch. It's what I did when I was governor. Any successful business guy knows you have to control your cost and you don't make it difficult to do your job. All right. That's what regulation is done. That's what big government does. So we all have to do that. Successful business people do that on a day in, day out basis. I did as governor. I got rid of 20% of the regulations, the regulatory environment in Florida when I was governor, and cut the permitting time from some things from 2 years to 2 days. That's what's got to happen. A lot of that will be done through the federal agencies, and then some of it will need to be a partner in Congress. So I'm talking to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. I think there's a lot of interest. I've been up here 6 years. I've been talking the same stuff for 6 years. This is the first time that there's been real conversation. It's like I put out my economic reports. I tell people what the issues are, but now people are really excited about it. And I think we're going to see a lot of success.
Yeah, I'm excited. Closing shot here. Where would you want them to start? Just if you were to tell us, so if Elon's and Vivek's in your office and they go, where should we start? Where would you tell them, Senator?
I mean, I think the easiest is start with why are we giving money to illegal immigrants? Why, this doesn't make sense. We got our own problems. Let's stop that. I think we need to get rid of the Department of Education. I don't know why we need a federal Department of Education. Yes. But those would be I think I would start there. But there's going to be, in every agency, there's going to be opportunity for savings. Unbelievable savings. I mean, not a little bit. Unbelievable dollars.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're very excited about it. Very excited about these agencies finally getting good leadership. Kari Lake at Voice of America, man, that just sent us. That sent us last night.
Did you follow Argentina? In 1 year, Milei balanced the budget. 1 year. Now, I balanced the budget every year I was governor, right? Right. So it's all doable in 1 year. It's what Milei did there. So we can do the exact same thing here. We have to do that.
It can happen. Trump ringing the stock bell this morning, man. The great American golden era starts now. Thank you, Senator, for helping precipitate this and bring this to fruition. Obviously, you spent your entire career fighting for the actual people. Please follow Senator Rick Scott of the great state of Florida, and maybe soon to be joined by Laura Trump.
Trump. She will do a great job. She'll be a great partner. She cares about this state. She's got a great relationship with the president. She will be a great U.S. senator.
650,000 people. Can't be wrong. Go follow the senator right now. Godspeed, Senator.
Bye. See you, Benny.
The golden era of America, ladies and gentlemen. The golden era. Why do we call it the golden era? Because gold is, of course, holding its value throughout all time. America is a 250-year-old country. This is the time when countries fail. 250 years is like the make or break moment. And we were up against it. Same with every empire, right? Roman Empire, same thing. And they fail for the exact same reasons, like forever wars, immigration, people coming to the country that hate you, people taking advantage of the treasure of the country, evil politicians. They all fail for the same reason. Ladies and gentlemen, consider today investing in gold. Invest in gold with my friends at Allegiance Gold. And the reason why you should do this is because, well, the forces that bear upon a country as old as ours are very, very strong. The instinct to just print money forever and ever and ever is very strong, no matter who's in charge. And so, ladies and gentlemen, hedge against that by investing in actual physical gold. Do that, again, with my friends at Allegiance Gold. Gold is the top performing commodity in the year 2024. This is a very good way to make sure that you are just simply diversified in your investment. It's going to be a rip-roaring economy. Everyone have a lot of fun, but be diversified, ladies and gentlemen. Go to protectwithbenny.com today or call 844-66-BENNY. That's 844-66-BENNY. Let them help you today get started. Protectwithbenny.com today. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making investment decisions. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I wish there was someone that I could consult with to figure out what the little F is going on above the sky in New Jersey. We have a lot of friends in New Jersey. We have a lot of viewers in New Jersey. People have written us like crazy from New Jersey because we spent because of you, obviously, because of the chat, and, big love to the chat. You were screaming about this issue yesterday. So literally on the fly, the great ALX, Danny, Jerry, and Ashley put together just an update about what's going on. And little did we know the Pentagon would weigh in. Also, United States CENTCOM would weigh in. And we are not pleased about what they've told us, because it seems like they're obfuscating once more, trying to deny what's really happening. So here's what we know. And Killer Klein, can you please put up some B-roll of what we've seen in the skies? Here's what we know. We know that there are objects in the sky. We know that these objects are visible with the naked eye. We know that when you zoom in on these objects and you see them, they have no earthly explanation. Some of them seem to literally shapeshift while in the sky, and there are hundreds of them. Where are they going? Where are they from? Isn't it a national security issue, considering the fact that Donald Trump lives in New Jersey half the year, in Bedminster, and he's there all the time? Shouldn't we control the airspace over our president and our Air Force bases and our military bases? Yes. The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Unfortunately, we don't live in a serious country because our border's been open, and so we've allowed, that horrible national security event, and now this horrible national security event is occurring. What the F is going on here? I don't know. This is a dude filming. Let's make this big, please. This is a dude filming with a telephoto lens. You can see a multicolored orb that seems to be in some stage of flux in the air. What's going on there exactly? I don't know. The Pentagon doesn't seem to know either. Wow, that sucks. A member of Congress, we played you a clip from Fox News yesterday. Member of Congress, Jeff Andrew, who represents the state of New Jersey, he went on Fox News and he said, these are all drones flying from a mothership and they're being launched by the nation state of Iran. Huh? The Pentagon was asked about that yesterday at a Pentagon briefing. Here we go.
Jen. Sabrina, can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drone sightings over New Jersey? It's near sensitive installations. The FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out?
So what is the activity exactly? Hello, Bueller, do you understand? This is, what do you mean? We don't care. Like, what's the activity? You know, the governor of New Jersey said the exact same thing. Everyone's safe. Fine, but that doesn't answer the question. The question is, what the hell are these physical, spiritual, weaponized, ballistic, nuclear demons, objects above our country? Jesse Waters bringing this to his audience last night, which is the largest audience in all of cable news, so expect this to be mainstreamed. Here we go.
Well, the mysterious drones that have been flying all over New Jersey have caught the attention of the FBI, and they're clueless.
The Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity. We do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet.
Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
So the FBI either lied under oath just there, or they're completely in the dark about our national security. Even the governor of New Jersey admits he has no idea what's going on.
These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. We've got military assets. We've got utility assets. We've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more.
Jersey officials say the first sighting was back in the middle of November, and since then they've gotten hundreds of sightings throughout the state, 180 in just one day. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew says the drones are Iranian.
So maybe it's time to start asking the question, are our government officials who are in charge of protecting us and who spend the trillions of dollars a year on national defense able to defend us? I mean, if there's ever a time to have answers for the people, it would be like, what the hell are all these floating, blinking things above my house? Seems like the kind of the basics that and filling the potholes. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can get some answers out of our next guest here. We are honored to be joined by New Jersey Mayor Christine Serrano Glasser. Now, she is the mayor of Mendham, New Jersey, and I'm sure she has great concern for her citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the mayor to our program. Thank you, Mayor, for being on the show. We deeply appreciate your time here. We know that New Jersey is creating quite a few headlines. And I guess the first question would have to be, have you seen the things that people claim to be seeing in the sky above the state of New Jersey?
I have seen them, Benny. I've seen it over my house. I've seen it in my town. I have tried to follow them in my car. And I like to say that we are ground zero here because we're really one of the first towns that started seeing so many of them. I'm told they've been out for a while, longer than the middle of November, but this is when we started seeing them in real force, that you would see, 10 of them flying all together. And they're not small. These are not hobby drones. They tell me that these drones could easily be the size of an SUV with wings, which is part of why, and I tell everybody, because some folks say, you know what, I'm going to shoot them down. Well, not only is it a substantial fine and a lot of time in jail, but you don't want that thing falling on your head. And you certainly don't want it falling on your neighbor's house. The other thing that we learned, because remember, we were in a briefing yesterday with all of the mayors, for the state put it on for us. And what we learned was they do not know if these things are carrying payload, which means some kind of explosive or some kind of chemical warfare. So shooting them down is another really bad idea for that reason alone. We here in Mendham have been really paying attention, but we're ramping that up. What people want is information, and it's exactly what we have not been provided. I've been calling people since the middle of November and saying, we really need answers. And what I said yesterday at this briefing, we can't stop even after these drones go away because they've been over our towns collecting data. They have all sorts of information on us. They know where our reservoirs are. They know where certainly President Trump spends his summers. We know that because that's right down the street. They know where our Picatinny arsenal is. They know where our substations for electric is. They know all of this information. We need to know who has collected it and why they need it or why they want it. And so tonight we're going to have a briefing right here in our own town, and we're going to start our own little task force. We're calling it the Neighborhood Skywatch. You know, it's a throwback to what people used to do back in the 50s, but now we're going to be focused on the skies. And we're going to help our government because clearly, without Donald Trump in the White House, they can't seem to focus on this, and they haven't for weeks now. I think the state of New Jersey has really done the best they can, but we don't have that kind of technology to either take one of these drones down or to really zero in on it and find out who it belongs to. So we have to rely on the federal government, and I know that as soon as Donald Trump takes over the White House, these kind of issues are going to go away. But I know that he also would get to the bottom of this, and that's what we need right now. We need answers.
Mayor, this is bombshell stuff. There's so many questions I have for you, but I suppose we have to start with the first one. Have you physically seen this with your naked eye?
Physically seen it with my naked eye and tried to follow them. You can tell because they're big. It looks like a drone. It's got the signature lights, and you can hear like a hum or a buzz. What you can't tell is how high up it is. It's really difficult. And out here in New Jersey, we've got a lot of air traffic. So there are some folks that have sent me pictures or videos, and what they're looking at is a plane. These are very distinctive. And you could almost feel it in the air because it's not just an engine. It's more of a buzz. And they're traveling around. If you do lock in on them, which some folks have, they do go dark. The governor said that before. They turn off all their lights and then they zoom away. And they said that yesterday at our briefing that they had New Jersey State Trooper helicopters positioned over one of them. And that's what it did. As soon as it figures out that you've locked in on it, it's gone. So the other thing they told us, these things, uncharacteristically of a drone, they believe they're up in the air for anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. So they could be coming from a very long distance. We know that the Coast Guard is pitching in, and I think there are agencies that are definitely trying to help. They're watching like 130 miles of shoreline out into the waters, the deep waters, and they haven't seen anything returning home. And I've had teams of people telling me that they're going to the military bases late at night to see if they're returning home, and nobody is seeing any of this. So it's very mysterious as to how they're getting here and where they're going when they leave, but we definitely see them when they're here.
I'm just blown away by this, and I don't know exactly what the possible explanation would be because someone is clearly lying, right? Who's lying exactly? And if these are foreign objects from a rogue nation or from who knows, like a terror cell, a cluster somewhere, this seems like a horrific national security breach.
Well, I would certainly think so. I mean, the one thing we talk about here and we have for weeks is we would certainly understand if this was our own government and they were doing it for security reasons and they really don't want to provide us with a lot of information. We would get that. We would respect that. They just need to say, hey, it's okay. It's us. We own them. You don't have to worry. But when people kept saying, you know what, you don't have to worry. And I'd say, but what does that mean? We don't have to worry. They even said that yesterday. Well, you don't have to worry because there hasn't been an incident yet. But that doesn't mean that there couldn't be an incident at some point in time, which is why I say don't shoot them down. We don't want to find out the hard way, that they really are dangerous. And, I've got a 5-pointer on why you don't shoot them down. It's gonna cost you personal money. You might damage your neighbor's house or it falls on your house. Or if it is aliens, you certainly don't want to meet them in person. Right?
Depending. I mean, frankly,
not after you shot their drone.
Well,
down.
Yeah. Okay. That takes me very nicely, Mayor, into the next question, which is, since you've physically seen these, and since you hear from your residents, and since you live in sort of the cluster where these objects are clustering, do you believe they're terrestrial? Have you watched them behave in manners that defy physical explanation?
I don't necessarily think they're terrestrial because, so far, folks that know a whole lot more about these drones have said they're more likely military. They look like other drones that they've seen, these exact types of drones. So could it be? It could be anything, really. It could be anything. And until somebody tells us and somebody really gets one of these units and takes a look at them, right? I think that's what it's going to take. Either you see where it's come from or where it's gone home to, or you actually physically get one. I just don't think we're going to know otherwise.
Mayor, somebody must be lying, and I guess the question is who? Clearly, the government has very sophisticated capacities to track foreign objects in our skies. Somebody knows where these are coming from. Do you have an indication that your governor knows, or that the Pentagon knows, or that any federal official knows?
I think the biggest mistake is we've been asking for help and asking for answers for weeks, and we just weren't taken seriously. And I think that that's the biggest problem. We wasted a whole lot of precious time, and now everybody is on this. I don't know that the state of New Jersey, I think that they're trying really hard. I do. It was a great briefing yesterday, and they were candid about the fact that they just couldn't provide us any information. But being there in person and being willing to take the heat, I had a lot of respect for them. I don't think that we at the state level have the technology. I think at the military level, at the federal level, they have the technology. They have the technology to take one of these drones down, to disable it. Remember, these drones can fly below the radar. So they're not necessarily picked up by radar easily. They're separate drone radar, I learned yesterday, but that's not even completely reliable. So I just don't know if the technology is completely caught up around the country with, what it is that's in our skies right now. I don't know if it has across the board.
Mayor, what you've said on this program is unbelievably alarming. And of course, we've covered multiple assassination attempts of the president. He lives down the road, as you said, and brings a great deal of aplomb to New Jersey. He loves Bedminster. You're saying that these drones are large enough to be carrying weaponized payloads, and they're flying freely over the president's house. Wow.
So there's a restriction over Bedminster now, over that golf course. Air restrictions have been put in place. I think over some of the military areas, air restrictions have been put in place. Presumably they have the right kind of radar where they can make sure, right, that these things aren't flying over there anymore. I would imagine, that because Secret Service is on top of that Bedminster facility, that property, I would imagine they've got their binoculars out and they're looking every night.
Incredible. If you, given what you know and what you can tell the audience, what would you suspect that they are? Because we did hear Jeff Van Drew yesterday making huge headlines saying they're from a mothership from Iran. Some people have speculated that they're American military tech. What would you suspect, since you've actually seen one? And since
my hope, and I'm not even going to suspect. I think going out and saying, "Oh, they're definitely from Iran," I think that puts a lot of fear into people, and that's the last thing we want is people panicking. And so I am not going to say that until somebody absolutely knows that that's the case. To go on a hunch and tell people that, I think, is irresponsible. I don't know who they belong to. I know that it's somebody that's very sophisticated and has a lot of money, because these things could not possibly be inexpensive. And there are, I don't know how many there are, but over our skies, there's been, 10, 12 of these at any one given time. It's an organized operation. So I would think it'd be some form of military, whether it's ours or somebody else's.
Wow. So so it's clearly coordinated. You can see it. I mean, you can see the clusters and you can see the flying nonstop. Hopefully they put an end to it. We know that Team Trump often watches the program, and we're dear friends with Pete Hegseth, who'd be in charge of looking at protecting our country. What's your message to the incoming administration about this in closing?
Listen, we know that if President Trump was in the White House, this would not be happening. And if this was happening in January, he would be on top of this with decisive action. And we know that about the president. All of this, chatter of, well, we don't know, we're not sure, that would not be coming out of any department. They would stop everything because he would dictate it. And he would say, we're going to get to the bottom of this now. He's not somebody who pussyfoots around. And that's what we need in this country right now. Yes. We need strong leadership like President Trump, and he's coming, but we'd like it to be sooner
Yeah.
for the sake of these drones in our neighborhoods.
Mayor, I got to tell you, I don't know much about New Jersey politics, but I do know that that the governor won by just a whisker in the last cycle. We really hope that you maybe consider throwing your hat in and coming back on the program, since you've been so forthcoming and honest with us. We sure would like some of that in politics, and so.
Well, I would too. I ran for the U.S. Senate. Didn't turn out the way I liked. I ran on a position of integrity, and I'm just going to continue to keep working for New Jersey and try to bring that to New Jersey. New Jersey, President Trump did extremely well here, extremely well. And we think that it's because people are ready for a change. They really are. They're ready for a better economy, and we need to see that here in New Jersey.
And here is the profile on X that you must follow for a great Mayor Glassner. And man, I got to tell you, we see what Scott Pressler is planning on doing in New Jersey, registering voters. They said it couldn't be done in Pennsylvania, and lo and behold, and then now he's heading to New Jersey. You think New Jersey is going to be a red state?
I think we're going to give them a very good run for their money. I'm working on the same thing. I'm working in a lot of minority communities because they feel they are not represented by the Democrats. And so we're going to give them a good run for their money. We're going to make sure that people know exactly who supports them and who wants to see them have better lives and plan for their futures. And that's the Republicans.
Mayor, just a free thought here, okay? Free thought. You don't have to use it, all right? I don't want to embarrass myself or anything, but I do it every day in front of the audience. So free thought. You could run for governor on a campaign slogan that says, I'm against illegal aliens in New Jersey from the sky or from, the southern border. You could do both. You could say, I'm against all illegal aliens, and it could be huge. It could be huge for you.
I like it, Benny. I like it. I think it's a good platform.
Okay. Just a thought. Free from the Benny Show. Thank you, Mayor. Please come back regularly and brief us on this. The audience really cares a lot.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.
Godspeed. We're against all illegal aliens. Come on, man. I'm a dad of 4, right? Like little kids. I am entitled to a dad joke. Okay? I'm entitled to a dad joke here and there. Ladies and gentlemen, one final story that I really wanted to cover here and certainly want to put our shoulder into, which is the shocking assassination report. If you talk about the security of President Trump, which is something that we are constantly praying for. New assassination report, the Secret Service fired 6 times at Ryan Roth, the assassin that was camping out in the bushes. 6 times, and they couldn't hit him. They were 5 feet away. Ping, ping, ping. They were 5 feet away, and the Secret Service couldn't hit him. Do you realize, I just am saying this, I want to say this in the end up against the verse of the day, the confluence of miracles in the hand of God, that was on us. President Trump should not be alive right now, given the dark forces that stood against him and that put a bullet through his head, hit him in the head with a bullet. It is a confluence of miracles. It is something going into the Christmas season we should be deeply, deeply thankful for. Clip J, is this Jesse Waters' assassination report? Let's let Jesse take it away here. Shocking stuff, horrifying.
Force. According to their report, the Secret Service agent who spotted Ryan Ruth in the bushes outside Trump's golf course was only 5 feet away when he opened fire and missed him. Not once, not twice, 6 times. He missed him 6 times from 5 feet. How does a trained agent who passed the firearms test miss a target 5 feet away? That's not all. The report says the Secret Service found out at 2:30 in the morning that Trump would be golfing later that day, but they didn't secure the course, allowing Ruth to camp out for 12 hours before anyone saw him. Meanwhile, Ruth appeared in federal court this morning, and his legal team signaling they're going to go with the insanity defense. How convenient. Ruth's public defender said he has had multiple meetings with a mental health expert while in jail, and the witnesses who saw him before the arrest say he was hallucinating and delusional. Of course. Prosecutors also revealed that Ruth has been doing a lot more writing behind bars than initially reported. Ruth has written nearly 40 letters to news outlets in an attempt to persuade that he's an honorable guy, but they were intercepted before they reached their targets. We also know that only 17 of the 18 cell phones found in Ruth's possession belong to him. Why does he have 18 cell phones? And wait, he has 17. So who owns the last phone? And why did Ruth have it?
You want to know the dark truth about Ryan Ruth? We don't have this would be the next 3 hours if we got into it, and we will. Funded by Ukraine. Funded by Ukrainian dark money. You can see it all in his footprint and what he did, how he was recruiting Afghan and Iranian fighters and ISIS fighters to come to Ukraine to get no-look visas, to be stamped no-look visas. Just send me an email. I'll get you into Ukraine. It was Ukrainian dark money. I'm not prepared to say it was Zelensky authorized by the government, but this was when there's billions of dollars funneling into a war zone and somebody's running for president saying, we're going to stop that. Trust me, there's going to be dark forces that are going to try and end that person. This is who Ryan Ruth was working for. It's available on what you can see it on his website. He was able to get no-look visas into Ukraine. What does that mean? That means that has connections inside the State Department, inside of the intel ops, inside of our intelligence community, who were becoming filthy rich because of the Ukraine war grift, while of course slaughtering the people of Ukraine. And Ryan Ruth was connected deeply to all of them. Ask yourself this: how's an unemployed guy fly to Ukraine? How's an unemployed guy who lives like in a shack in Hawaii able to go vote in North Carolina? He has 72 criminal convictions. Dude wasn't able to own a firearm because he got in a standoff with police. Hold up now. The FBI knew who he was? Yeah, of course they knew who he was. The FBI was sent to go investigate him because somebody said, no, the guy owns a firearm. The same firearm he tried to kill Trump with. Who bought the firearm? Who gave him the firearm? Who's funding this guy? Start asking the right questions. Crack open his phone's cache, pay him Bondi. Get us the answers here, man. Cui bono, that's right. Who benefits, exactly? Who benefits? Was it Ukraine the whole time? Ask the right questions, start getting the right answers. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no such thing as the wrong question. It's important to be a skeptic. We certainly are on this program. Skepticism can't be wrong. It's the way that we find truth for you. We'll keep asking these questions about UFOs, about what's going on in our damn country. It's so important, but it's also important to be uplifted and happy warriors and have our centering. Our centering is the verse of the day, Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good. In due season we will reap if we do not give up. We haven't given up, and neither should you, ladies and gentlemen. We're primed for a very exciting week and weekend. We'll go fight at the UFC on Saturday, and we're going to bring you there with us. It's going to be very, very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, we're fighting for you and with you every single day. Please get your Benny Christmas ornaments while you still can. We're up against it. Ladies and gentlemen, Benny Christmas ornaments, $5 at BennyJohnson.com. Get the most popular Christmas ornament in American history, okay? We have the data to prove it. The red Christmas, red ornament. And keep sending me the photos of those beautiful ornaments. We'll put them up on the show, ladies and gentlemen. We love you. We care about you. And to prove that, we have a meme compilation for you. Jerry sent a funny... Jerry, did you send a new meme that you want to be played? I don't know. How are you guys going to do it? Not sure. Oh, and the poll. Okay. What do we got for a poll today? Can you send me the poll results? We're going to start doing this more. We have a poll. We have poll results. Yeah, that. You got that one? Oh, no, it's not in the closer. Okay. You want to play it? All right, here we go. What's the poll results first? What do we got here?
From the start of the show.
It's from the start of the show. Okay. Which is the next Christmas meme request? Christmas meme request. It looks like Home Alone is winning strongly, but that's not up-to-date. That's not up-to-date. What's the up-to-date one? Show me the up-to-date one. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Did ALX, it's not showing. Okay. Did we go too long today? Okay, it's not showing. All right. That's fine. I got you an up-to-date meme, ladies and gentlemen, and a meme compilation for your viewing pleasure. And it is such an honor to be fighting with you. It's your boy Benny. See ya.
You read the Bible, bro. Yes! Oh, there's this passage I got memorized. Ah, you mother...
Honey? That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
Years from now, she might not remember what she got for Christmas. But she'll always remember President Trump ringing the bell.
Where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to life. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade, cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light, bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light, bringing liberty to life. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade, cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light.